talk with Lori. Lori, you're with Allworth Money Matters.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, glad you joined us.
Well, I've got a couple of young adults who, as you would say, are not yet self-feeders.
Thank you. That was my dad's term, by the way.
Self-feeders.
Although, they're both in school, so hopefully they're going to be working their way toward that. And I just kind of wanted to run by, am I doing the right thing with them in terms of money-wise right now? So they're both in school. They both got part-time jobs, and one of them has no impulse control whatsoever. One, I think, has sort of a handle on that kind of thing. So the one who it will blow through money if she has the opportunity is 19 years old. So she has a job right now. So I've basically told her she needs to put that money into Roth, and because she's at home, I'm paying for all of her bills. Although because of her ability to blow through money, I did tell her she has to pay me for her car insurance and she has to pay her own gas.
Very
just
nice.
to give her a bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not because it's something she can't afford, but just to give her
Oh,
something.
yeah, of course. It's trying to teach her to be an adult, to be a self-feeder.
Yeah.
And discipline.
Right. So, I know she's 19, so technically, she's an adult. She can do what she wants with her money. But
Yeah, she could also leave the house and go figure it out on her own.
Well, and that's not happening anytime soon, apparently. So, in terms of that, so I basically said she has to put 75% of her paycheck into a Roth IRA because I'm just trying to, quote unquote, lock up her money now while she has her bills paid.
Perfect.
She can still go out and pull the money out of that Roth.
Yeah, I haven't told her that, though.
Yes.
I mean, let's hope. So you're trying to teach her some lessons here and also help her by having some money set aside. And one would hope that if she has that urge to pull the money out, she can realize, I don't think I want to cut my ties with my parents on the financial end of things, which is probably what would happen. That's what I would do to my kid if they did something like that. I'd go figure it out on your own then. So it's not going to be enough there to actually do any real damage to herself.
So I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
Well, and the other thing I'm wondering about is, I feel like the advantage, I keep telling my kids, you're young, you're 19 and 24. You put money in this stuff and look at look what happens over time for your retirement. So if we just focus on that, because once hopefully they get out of school, they have a job, then, they're on their own in terms of now they're self-feeders. But right now, the one thing I can do I'm hoping is given the advantage of time and, compound changes and that kind of stuff. So my other thought is, if I can afford it, should I do this sort of, I think it's $16,000 a year that you can give to somebody without tax consequences.
Yeah,
for them.
18.
Oh, 18 now?
Yeah,
okay.
for both you and your spouse.
Okay.
Per individual.
Okay. So is that something, is there anything else I'm missing in terms of, I kind of feel like if I can get them to do this now in a Roth IRA.
You can't put 18 grand in a Roth IRA because that exceeds the limit.
Yeah, it's based on her income.
Right.
How large is your estate?
I mean, at this point, I'm set. Like, I'm happy. I'm not going to.
$5 million or?
No. It's like 3.
I would not. I would not start gifting.
Okay, and why?
Well, I would disagree.
Why?
With my kids, their first jobs, I would put money in the Roth IRA for them. They earned $3,000 for that summer. I'd put $3,000.
She's already got the child putting in 75% of her. If she wants to top it up to go to 100% of pay.
Well, and I will. I'm going to whatever they make this year, they're going to go in the Roth. And I'm treating my kids differently. My daughter, I'm telling her she has to fund her own Roth as much as possible. My son, no, because he's reasonable with money and he has other expenses and whatever. So, but my plan is whatever they make this year, they're going to put in Roth.
Okay, perfect.
Whether it's me and them or just them, however that goes.
And I agree with Pat. I would not transfer money, give them money in addition to the Roth.
That's correct. That's what I said.
And see, no, and why? Because again, my feeling is if I put that into something that they could put in equities or whatever like that, they've got decades.
Oh, I understand, but
you can own it and transfer to them later.
Yeah, and you get a full step up in basis at either your death or your spouse's death. So I would make the argument because you don't have an estate tax problem. What's the limit for the estate tax?
It's $30 million next year.
For
husband and wife.
For husband and wife. So because you don't have an estate tax problem, I would make the argument that it's better off in a tax efficient portfolio in your name with the idea that it's going to go to them because you'll receive a full step up in basis at death. And the compounding, actually, you're right. and you're still taking advantage of the compounding, but you've got this tax efficiency
That's right.
that's built into it at death. And we're not trying to shrink your estate.
And worst case, the step-up basis goes away, and you transfer the shares to your kids, and it's the same thing as them having it now
from the very beginning. So I wouldn't go above and beyond the Roth. I wouldn't be using up any part of either my exemption amount or even.
Here's one thing to keep. So we each have 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
They all very different with their finances. My 18-year-old freshman in college, she blew through $1,000 her first month. Money she had set for the whole semester, essentially.
Gone. Yeah.
I gave her a tiny allowance because she's got her meal plan. And I look at her, I just looked at it a couple days ago, and I think she's got like $20 left, right? And I'm like, well, I guess you're not going to have a lot of fun the next couple months because I'm not helping you anymore. Because I'm trying to teach her that there's consequences when you spend your money, right? You can only spend $1 once. And but the reality is, we try to teach our kids these values, particularly the values that are important to us, right? We hope that our kids are going to have those same values as they go through life. And the reality is they have their own values, whether it's financial or in every other area of life. They typically don't mirror our own values.
But they're going to be themselves.
But
as we all know, as we've raised kids.
But this Roth is very, very valuable. It's a great teaching. And here's the reality. My very first job out of college, I started putting money in the 401k. I took that money out of the 401k to fund opening Hanson McLean 30.
You borrowed $10,000, and I would have done the same, but I didn't have $10,000 in an IRA.
I had $10,000 in an IRA, and I borrowed it out for 60 days to start the business.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 32 years ago or something.
33
years ago.
Yeah.
So let your. And the Roth is actually because you could pull your principal out without any tax consequences.
They're fantastic.
So they might want to use it for the purchase of a first-time home. I would just talk about all the benefits of it, and then talk about compounding growth.
I'm keeping it really simple in terms of I'm locking up her money.
That's right.
It's sort of, if you will, just to keep it, like the same thing. I put her on my credit card. I was gone for 2 weeks. I cannot tell you how much DoorDash happened in that time. It just, she is going to be who she is, but I keep telling myself we've got 6 more years, so she has a prefrontal cortex. Maybe things can change. So.
They're all different. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I think you're on the right path, but I would not gift above that at any point in time unless they change the estate tax rules.
So just wait. They have to wait.
Yep. And you might, when they purchase the first time home, you might want to lend it to them and,
or gift it or whatever.
But not just out of.
Well, and that's my understanding is there's some, I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but you can gift $1 million over, I've helped somebody else with a down payment for their house.
Yes.
Their initial thing like that. So my understanding is there's some separate category about that where again, if they get a house, I can do a down payment for them, and it's within. I don't have the right phrase for it.
Okay, so
but it's a lifetime giving thing or something.
Yes.
Like that?
So there is a gift and estate tax. It's one and the same. It's a lifetime gift and estate tax. Next year it's $15 million per individual. So a couple can do $30 million. And this means that either their estate when they die, or while they're living, they can transfer that much, gift that much to whoever they like, whether it's their kids or their favorite talk show host or whatever, right?
Keep it going.
So my oldest daughter's 29. She was not great with money when she was younger. Now she has her own business, works her butt off, does very well. Her mother and I gifted her some money for a down payment for her house. And it was more than the $38,000 that we had, or $36,000 that we were limited to. They get $18,000 per year.
Right.
And so we used up part of our what's called lifetime exemption. And then we had to file a tax return, a gift tax return.
But there's another way you could do it, which is you lend them the money and you put an interest rate, a fair market interest rate on it. And then every year
you forgive
a portion of that loan that is equivalent to that $36,000 until the loan goes away. And that way you haven't used up your exemption.
They have to pay the interest.
You have to pay the interest, but it's just a transfer of money internally, quite frankly, because you're forgiving the money, interest is actually coming back to you.
Right.
So depending upon the size of your estate, sometimes you do it like Scott did. I did it with a combination of the two of them with my kids. So two of my children bought homes, and I did a combination of the two of them. And one's in law school. I got to tell you, for a daughter that didn't want to go to college, she sure likes school now.
Are you paying for her law school?
It
sounds like a yes to me.
No. She got a full scholarship.
All right.
Oh, God bless her.
Yeah, pretty good.
And you.
pretty good grades. So there's lots of ways you can go about doing it, but I love the fact that you are using this as a time to actually educate.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like my hope is that they'll make some good decisions. But right now, they've got different stuff. And I'm a widow, so I can't do the whole husband and wife giving kids. I don't have that option. It's me. So I just want to make sure that I kind of got them set up, but not in a way that they've got 529s. Pretty much their school is going to be covered. Like that's a pretty,
Luxury.
they're lucky kids to be able to have that. Exactly.
Yes.
So, they're going to get out of school eventually, hopefully without debts. So it's sort of like I just want to help set them up for what's their retirement stuff.
Yeah. Look, I think some of us are born savers and some of us are born spenders. It just seems that way to me, right?
Yeah.
So she's a spender. She's just like other areas of our lives where we have certain temptations. Part of maturity is designing our life in such a manner to put some protections in place so we don't succumb to those temptations. Right. And for her, spending money is going to be one of those temptations. And she's going to have to learn how to budget her money, how not to go spend money on an impulse. But she's eventually going to have to learn that on her own.
Yeah,
you can help guide her and teach her.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
she's going to be your own person.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.